Welcome back to Honey Badger 3D Print and Paint. Today, we've got a large Terminator. But before we do that, roll those credits and a word from our sponsors.
PCBWay are proud sponsors of the channel. They offer industry-leading 3D printing services covering all types of materials and processes. They also offer industry-leading online CNC machine services from milling, machining, and turning in all the materials you could possibly need. They also offer a fully online prototyping PCB service. Everything from assembly through to design, you can do it all online with an easy system to use for quality. So for all of your needs, check out PCBWay in the link in the video description.
Right, so you would have seen back a month or so ago, we had the starfield in that we were testing. Because it's a big printer, we thought we'll do something big. At the time, we had someone contact us, someone who's bought a few of our models in the past. One, gets a bit of money for the channel. Two, it frees up some space for us so that we can make new models, because we haven't got an endless amount of room to store all these models. So, works well for us. Well, he contacted us and said he wanted a Terminator. Particularly this Terminator in this pose while frozen. And although that seemed like quite a specific ask, we found the model. This model exists somewhere. I don't know if it's Sideshow or somewhere like that. It exists in the world. It's probably very, very expensive. But he wanted one. So we actually found the model. We bought it. I think we bought it off of Colts, I think it was. And we printed it in resin on the starfield. So this model, once we blew it up, terribly cut. So the head and the helmet, that is just all one piece. We printed this to the maximum size we could on the starfield. So where the helmet and the head is one piece, we printed it as large as we could fit on the starfield. So that determined the size of the rest of this. The body was then cut into 4 pieces randomly as well. So there was like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Took some hiding to hide all them join lines, but I think I did quite well. This is where it gets interesting. The base was in two pieces. So it's basically cut in half like that. This side and that side. But the base goes all the way up to the top of the shoulders. And there is no logical way as to where the whole body mounts to the base. There's no key. There's no sort of guidelines as to where that should go and sit. Just nothing. It's just you glue it and then you hope you sort of get it in the right place where it looks okay. Terrible cut model. Absolutely appalling. Hated it. But the finished product, I absolutely love. Now, painting this, I painted all of the clothes, obviously, in black, and then highlighted with 2 different sort of shades of black / dark grey. And then added on, like, the metal studs and the zip, stuff like that. The badge is actually separate, that print's separate and keys in. So the badge, painted that, fitted it to it. The head, where the head and everything is one piece, this is where also it got tricky. So what I did first of all is I masked off the helmet, because the actual helmet is white on the top, black on the bottom. But this helmet doesn't have any sort of guides for that built into the model. So I taped off where the line I wanted it, where I wanted it to be, and I did the black. I then took the tape off, or I matted it first with matte varnish, let it dry, took the tape off, then re-taped it on the black, did all the white, same thing with that, matted it, and then did all the sort of chrome work around the edge of the helmet. Matted everything. Once that was done, I also did the badge and stuff like that at that time. Once that was done, I then masked off the entire helmet so that I could do the skin tone, because the skin tone was all being done by airbrush, and what I didn't want to do was cover all the work I'd done in the helmet with skin tone. So I masked the whole of the helmet off completely. Did all my skin tones, removed all the mask thin, and then painted the inside of the helmet that was around the face. Did that by hand with a brush so that everything was then trimmed in. I then did the lips, the eyes, the eyebrows, did all that with a brush. Glasses. The glasses actually print, and we did print them. But one, they were very fragile, and two, painting them to get them as a realistic pair of glasses that is then frozen, I was in two minds how to do that. So what I did was go on Amazon and buy a pair of aviators for £5. They fit, and they look as real because they're real. So £5, job done, no work needed. That's perfect. Now, the freeze effect on this. I had an idea, the only idea, as to how to do it. But I wanted some second opinions. So there was two other artists that I know. I spoke to them and said, look, this is what I'm doing. That's the effect I need. I think I know the only way to do it. What do you think? They both came back with the same answer as I already had. So I was like, we're golden. That's the way I'm going. So this freeze effect is actually bottles of Green Stuff World's liquid frost. Now, this used 2 bottles, to be clear. So if you're using it on a mini or a base or stuff like that, it goes a long way. I used 2 bottles on this, and it was probably 5 or 6 coats. Because what happens is, as you do it, it builds up the effect and builds up the effect. What you literally do is it comes out clear. You spray the whole area. You don't want to do too heavier coat. You spray the whole area, let it dry. As it dries, it sort of crystallises and goes white. You then do it again and again and again and again. The more you do it, the bigger the crystallised pieces get. You can keep, like, I've done it on a different model before, and I did loads and loads of coats, and you can actually end up with quite large sort of icicle effects. But that was on a much smaller piece, not something this size. I feel like if I was going to get that effect with this, I'd probably need 4 bottles to get it to start looking like it's hanging like ice. But this in the film, if you remember, he was frozen by liquid nitrogen and he just sort of froze. That's the sort of effect I wanted. It came out perfect on his skin tone. His skin looks like it's frozen. All in all, I'm really happy with this. If it wasn't for the fact this was a commission for somebody, I'd 100% be happy with this on my shelf. I really like it. Really like it. What we'll do is we'll do a few close-ups of it now so you can see in better detail. You may remember James did a Terminator quite a long time ago, a life-size Terminator. That was for the same person. He must really love the Terminator. We all do, but he actually spends money on it, so he probably loves it more than we do. But this, I only finished this up yesterday, and once I'd finished all the original paintwork, I was like, I really like that. It's really nice. But as I started freezing it, I was like, I like this even more. I like this even more. James messaged me, but I sent him pictures of when I'd finished painting it, and he said, are you happy with it? I said, I do. I really like it. I said to him, ask me again tomorrow once I start trying to make it look frozen. I may change my mind. And he messaged me back the next day, went, as again, I sent him a picture. I went, no, I really like it. I really like it. I'm going to be sad to see this go. He's going to be picking it up after Christmas, so James gets it on the shelf here for a couple of weeks, and then he's off to a new home. What I would say is when I was painting this, I spent a hell of a long time on the eyes. I pulled out every trick I could think of, because the eyes on this are so big. I pulled out every trick I could think of to make these eyes look natural, and then I put the glasses on and you can barely just see the corner of the whites of the eyes, and I was like, that's about 3 hours. I'm not getting back. But, oh well. I know I did the eyes properly. So, at least I feel good about that. But, what do you think? There you go. Again, super happy with this. So, don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got plenty more videos coming out. We're having a little rest over Christmas. But we've got plenty more videos coming out. So keep an eye on the channel. Let us know what you think of this. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.